Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, a container ship comes in from Jamaica carrying important cargo. The most important of the cargo is coffee beans. This is loaded into a special train that everyone calls the Espresso Express. Kryssy and Emily are in charge of these trains. Kryssy pulls it one week and Emily pulls it another, and they alternate in a rotation. The train runs from the seaport down the coastline to Denville Junction and on to Otisville. Emily and Kryssy enjoy themselves, and they love pulling the train every other week. One day, Larry was waiting at Winslow Junction when Kryssy and Emily puffed up. "Hello, Kryssy. Hello, Emily," Larry called to them. "Hello, Larry," called Kryssy. "What are you two up to?" Larry asked. "Krissy's taking me to the works. My axle bearing has run hot and I have to get it repaired. Which means there's no one to take the Espresso Express tomorrow." "You can't cover for her, Kryssy?" asked Larry. "I can't," said Kryssy sadly. "I have other jobs to do tomorrow." Larry thought about it for a moment. "I don't have a lot of work to do tomorrow, so maybe I can cover for your train. If Ray agrees." "Oh, Larry," said Kryssy happily, "you're amazing." "It would be such a big help if you could do it," Emily added. "I'll make sure to speak to Ray the moment I get back to South Plainsville," Larry promised. And as soon as their lines were clear, the engines departed. Luckily for all the parties involved, Ray agreed. And the next morning, Larry was happily simmering quietly, getting ready to head off to the seaport to collect the coffee beans. Mr. Campbell then walked up. He had a very important announcement. "I'm just notifying all of you," he said, "that Amber is going to be out with the vegetation control train." All the engines knew what that meant. Amber and Roger are two diesel engines that are used for maintenance of way. During the spring and summer months, Amber is always in charge of the vegetation control train. This is a train consisting of a caboose, tool car, some tankers carrying weed killer, and the weed sprayer itself. She rolls along the line, spraying it all over the tracks to kill the weeds. The engines know that there's always a speed restriction when the vegetation control train is out, because the tracks have become very slippery and it could be hard to stop. After Mr. Campbell left, Taylor spoke. "Good luck, Larry," she said. "Thank you, Taylor," Larry said happily. "I'm so excited." "We trust you'll do fine in our absence," Kryssy called to him as he puffed onto the turntable. "Don't worry, Kryssy, I won't let you and Emily down." Larry puffed into the yard to collect the caboose from the caboose sidings, but there was a problem. "You might have to wait a while to get your caboose, Larry," called Roger. "Why?" Larry asked. "Because the switch leading to the cabooses are jammed," said Amber. "But don't worry, my driver made a phone call and the workmen are on the way. This is gonna make me so late. I'm supposed to go to collect the coffee beans from the seaport for Emily and Kryssy." "Ah, keep your tender couple," said Roger. "Here comes the workmen now. They'll fix the switches faster than you could say fix." Amber chuckled. "Don't worry, Larry. You'll do fine. I know you." "Thank you, Amber," Larry replied, feeling slightly better. Soon the switch was mended, and Larry collected his caboose and headed toward the seaport. But when he arrived to get turned around the turntable, there was yet another problem. He saw workmen surrounding it. "Oh, what now?" said Larry crossly. "We have to fix the turntable," said the foreman. "But don't worry, we've been working on it all morning. We just about got it fixed." Larry sighed, and then he had a thought. "Oh no! I have to get to Denville before the vegetation control train. I'll be later than ever with those speed restrictions." Larry urged the workmen to work faster. And after a few minutes, the turntable was repaired and Larry could puff onto it and turn around. After being turned and arranging the caboose behind the boxcars of coffee beans, Larry set off on his way. Meanwhile at Denville, Amber was delayed too with the vegetation control train. She was told to take siding in Denville Yard to let Milton pass with the express because he couldn't afford to be late. "I feel bad for all the trains that have to run behind me," Amber said to her driver. "With all these speed restrictions, it makes it even worse because I'm running late myself." Not long after Amber had left Denville, Larry had turned the whole train around on the loop so he'll be facing the right direction to go to Otisville. When he pulled out onto the main line, his heart sank when he saw the yellow signal. "I guess that means we have to travel at restricted speed," said his driver. "Please, driver," said Larry, "I'm already running late. Can we go a little fast?" His driver was anxious. "Okay, well, we're not gonna go as fast as Milton." "I promise," said Larry. "I'll be careful." But he wasn't. Larry was puffing down the line as if he had green signals instead of yellow. His driver was cross and fought for control. "Steady, Larry! You have to slow down! I can't let Kryssy and Emily down," he called. However, when Larry rounded the next bend, he wished he had listened to his driver. Ahead, Amber had stopped with the vegetation control train. Her conductor and brakeman were looking over a problem with one of the spraying arms. "Horrors!" Larry shouted. His driver quickly slammed on the brakes. Larry blew his whistle. "Peep, peep! Look out!" The conductor and brakeman of the work train looked up and jumped clear, and Larry's crew jumped too. But there was nothing left for poor Larry to do but shut his eyes. When Larry opened his eyes, he found himself on his side. He then looked back at his train. "Oh no," he groaned. The first boxcar right behind him was made of wood. It was shattered in the accident, and there was coffee being spilled everywhere. "Oh my goodness," called Amber. "Are you all right, Larry?" "I think so, but I spilled the coffee beans. Emily and Kryssy are gonna hate me for this." "Don't think like that, Larry," Amber said sympathetically. The conductors from both trains went to go for get help. It took all afternoon, but soon Larry was hoisted back on the rails and Kevin took him to the works. Larry looked back and saw that Emily and Kryssy were in the workshops. "They're gonna be furious, Kevin," he whispered. "I don't think they will," said Kevin. "It was only an accident. You made a mistake." As soon as Kevin shunted him into the works, Larry spoke. "Kryssy, Emily, I'm so sorry about your Espresso Express. I went too fast and..." "We're not concerned about that," said Kryssy. "We just want to make sure you're all right." "You're concerned about me?" Larry asked. "Yes," said Emily. "Amber came by here and told us how bad the accident was." "You're lucky to still be in one piece," Kryssy added. "So you're not upset about me wrecking your train?" "No," chuckled Emily. "More coffee beans are always going to come in, but there's only one you." "She's right," Kryssy smiled. "And we appreciate you trying to take our training for us anyway." "You're welcome," Larry replied. "I wish I could have completed the run, though." It was after this day that Larry decided that no matter what job you're doing, it's better to be safe than sorry. And he was also reassured that he had good friends in Emily and Kryssy.